Let's talk about Nazanin Zaghari-Ratcliffe because I was uncomfortable watching the press conference yesterday, the way she handled it as opposed to her husband and everybody else around it. But first, let's divide two separate issues. Let's talk about the money, £400 million. They say, well, the Tory government owed that money to Iran, the Iranian government. That's not true, is it? Because 1979, when the revolution happened, this is a different country. It's not. It was not a normal, regular revolution in that sense. They completely changed the country. It's a new country, constitutionally, legally, border-wise, size, and everything else around it. It's not just a name change. It moved from being an imperial state of Iran or Persia to the Islamic Republic of Iran. The government that had the contract, the UK government and the Iranian regime, the Iranian the state at the time under the Shah, that legally that contract was always supposed to be held by those two parties. Now the international courts, the way the case happened, it went completely the wrong way, and eventually at some point, of course, the UK government said yes, we owe that money, and then of course the sanctions happened, and we that money was held, and at the end of the day, the money was sent to them in the name of humanitarian aid to release Nazanin. That, by default, means hostage taking, and you just ask for money to release a hostage. So that's not anything to do with contracts, the defense contract that the Shah made with the UK government in the 70s. Because this money exchange was not that, was it? Humanitarian aid was not that. It was for to release Nazanin. So stop talking about this whole, oh, we owed them the money. No, we didn't. That contract was void. That was gone. So that's one part of it. But let's talk about the actual press conference. Because the moment Richard Ratcliffe, her husband, said, thankful and thank you to the Foreign Secretary and the UK government for making the effort, she came out and said, no, I disagree with my husband. She humiliated her husband on live TV.
The journey back home was tough. I grant what Richard said to thank the Foreign Secretary. I do not really agree with him on that level. I'm going to tell you that because I have seen 5 foreign secretaries changed over the course of 6 years. That is unprecedented given the politics of the UK. I love you, Richard. Respect whatever you believe. But I was told many, many times.
Okay, this is firstly disrespectful considering Richard spent years going on hunger strike, campaigning on her behalf, worrying and sorting things out, and he was frustrated with the UK government saying making more of an effort and all this stuff that happened. And when eventually things got sorted, even he was like, thank you guys, thank you for helping us out. Simple, right? That's just simple. That's just the emotional part of the argument that she didn't even acknowledge. Next bit is not even actually about her. It's about all of us, society, and the mainstream media. What happened? But the obsession with Nazanin compared to, what about Anusha Ashuri, who was also released at the same time. He was on the same flight. They got off the plane at the same time. Where is the platform? Where is the attention when it comes to him? Why does it not matter? Is it because he's a man? Why does it not matter to focus on him? And many others who are still held in Iran, and many others who were held in Iran and they got freed. This celebrity culture that we create, the worship culture, is extremely dangerous because this trend that we did within Iran wasn't actually starting here. It started in America. In 2016, before Trump became president, the Obama government, with the help of Biden, they were the ones who gave money to Iran to release an Iranian American, and that gave an opportunity to the Iranian regime to say, let's do it again. And instantly, they had Nazanin and then many others as well at the same time, and they said, okay, now let's go to the UK and say, you also owe us money, give that money, and then we'll do this. And now that we've done this, they're going to do it again. You're going to keep doing it again. And this is where Richard was actually very, very spot on when he was asked by Tom Harwood. That's my next problem. Tom Harwood from GB News stood up, asked Nazanin, do you not think that this could be creating a dangerous precedent? That if we give money, then they're going to do it again. First things first, she giggled. Fine, let's just say it's just, nervous giggle. But then she said, that's a complicated question. But when it comes to her, it's black and white clearly. But with the others, is a complicated question. And then she had to, Richard had to intervene to answer a very, very sensible point.
And you say that there are so many others that had your situation too. Is it a little worrying that the government has been seen to pay Iran in exchange for people being returned to the United Kingdom? And is there a concern there that it might encourage more hostage-taking potentially in the future?
Yes.
I'm going to jump in on that, Tom.
A very complicated question. Okay. And Richard, I'm going to go back to Richard, show the clip, because he started saying, yes, there is a moral hazard. And he's going to say, sometimes we actually have to be, as government, as country, be brave enough. If you're going to do carrot and stick, we can't just give carrots. This time we gave carrot. Sometimes you also have to use stick.
It is a challenge for the government, for the international community generally, to deal with state hostage-taking. That can't be done just with carrots. It can't. It's a balance, and it needs to be worked out. And one of the conversations you've heard me say on your shows, on others, is the government needs to be brave, and being brave also means being tough.
Absolutely well done, Richard Ratcliffe, being honest. Also, actually, ironically, being brave enough to say that, not just in front of his wife, but also in front of all the lamestream media who are creating this celebrity culture. And now everyone's an angel in this situation. And this is the problem that we have. That's the problem I have. One is the logic around the debate about the actual hostage taking, the money that we allegedly owe, which we don't. We didn't owe that money. No, that's done. That's my view. Done. Second is being grateful or ungrateful. That's an emotional argument of it. My point is, my issue is not even being grateful. That when it comes to Nazanin at the press conference, it's not even. That's not my issue. My issue is more than that. Is the blame. Who's she blaming? Sounds like she's blaming the UK government and Britain as a country more than she's blaming the Iranian regime, who took her as a hostage. And also, let's not forget, personal responsibility. The Foreign Office advised against traveling to Iran. Why did you travel to Iran? A lot of you know my background. I just did the thread on Twitter. In case you don't know, in case you're new to the channel, as I said in the previous video, I was born in Iran, but I was made in Britannia. My background is Persian. My mother was a legitimate, legal, political refugee. They made her life miserable, the Iranian regime. I was there as a child. I was detained for believing in liberty. They tried to impose Islam onto me. Didn't work. And we went through all that chaos. I know how it feels. And because of that, because of what I know, I do not travel to Iran. Firstly, because I know that I will be instantly imprisoned because I'm cancelled by Iran. So why would you even do that? And secondly, put the blame onto them, not us. Don't blame. Don't have expectations. We should not have expectations from politicians and the government. The government are not our parents. Take personal responsibility. I don't care about the emotional part of the story. Of course, there's a human side. People feel bad, and but I've been there. Some people have also had experienced hardship. I don't care about that. We could talk about that. We could have a safe space, like a rehab group, sit around the circle and be like, oh yeah, let's talk about hardship, how human feelings. Yeah, I get that. But let's talk about the reality. Why would you have the expectations from any government at this point to get involved? Because with all the historic issues that we've had, instantly in 2016, you either expect the UK government to intervene, put troops on the ground in Iran to come and save you, or just give free money to the Iranian regime, or to leave you, or what? There are so many people still in Iran, stuck. What do we do? Are we doing anything about that? No, because they're not all famous like Nazanin. That's the problem that we have. That's the problem I have. Hopefully I made some sense in this video. Subscribe to the channel. We're going to come back with another episode of Disrupt, the Ukraine brief at 6 p.m. on my Tousi, and we are the media.